To celebrate the 1-year anniversary of the Bit Squad, we are going to be giving away $1,000 in Bitcoin for the months of March and April, along with 2 Nano Ledger S's. An extra $100 prize will be available for those who join the Telegram group. Like and comment on every video in March and April for the maximum number of entries. You must be a subscriber to win. What's up, Bit Squad? Welcome back to the channel. Today, you're going to be listening to episode 26 of my podcast, Beards and Bitcoins. This was a special episode where we did a joint podcast with the guys from the Rekt podcast. We talked about a lot of stuff. We talked about, the markets a little bit. We also talked about, what interests people in the bear market, since obviously the price, isn't moving the needle by itself. Also, don't forget, guys, this is part of our contest. This video is, so make sure that you like, comment on this video, as well as all of our others in the months of March and April to get your maximum number of entries. And without further ado, here's episode 26.
Welcome back to your newest favorite podcast, Beards and Bitcoins, where bitboy and jchains get together each week to talk about crypto and things happening in the community. They will bring you some special guests and giveaways, so make sure you're subscribed. For all show-related news, you can find the guys on various social media outlets. Everything is listed on the official show Twitter account, @BeardsBitcoins. Now, without further introduction, 2 dudes that have beards, like Bitcoins, and want to talk to you about both, bitboy and jchains.
Hey everybody, welcome to your favorite podcast, Beards and Bitcoins. I think this is episode 26. I can't even keep up anymore. We're really starting to get up there. I am your co-host, Bitboy. I am joined by my other co-host, jchains, and we got some special guests today. You want to introduce them for us, jchains?
Absolutely. We are joined today by the crew of the Rekt podcast. They are joining us today. Very excited to chit chat with you guys. I believe we are missing one, but quickly, why don't you guys go ahead and introduce yourself real quick.
Hey everybody, I'm Chamber from the Rekt podcast. Yeah, we are missing Cynthia. Unfortunately, she's got a child army at home, and sometimes these early evening podcasts can be difficult for her.
Absolutely.
And I am Bunchu, typically the captain and host of the Rekt podcast. So I said to Chamber today, it feels good not having to guide the ship today and just kind of being the passenger. I'm excited to be here.
I'm definitely the Tennille to your captain.
Well, that's good because I'm the master and commander on this ship. So let's make it happen. So yeah, well, we're very glad to be joined by you guys. Obviously, there's kind of like a little kinship, and all the people that have podcasts. I mean, there's kind of like this running joke on Twitter that everybody has a podcast. You guys seen that?
Yes.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah. But
it's not wrong.
It's not wrong. But like a lot of people, like they just get one little podcast. They'll make a episode every once in a while. I mean, there really aren't that many podcasts that actually have regular schedules and post content.
That is true.
So
we've seen a lot kind of come and go over the last even 6 months. But yeah, we're here sticking it out, I guess.
What happened to Crypto Sky? That guy disappeared completely. He had a pretty good
That's
podcast.
one of the ones I'm thinking about, actually, off the top of my head. Crypto Sky was solid.
Yeah.
The market's just pulling people out. People had to go get real jobs.
Yeah.
I have one of those too, and doing both is not easy.
Man, you're telling me.
I'm broadcasting to you live from a Hilton Garden Inn in Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania, where I forgot my computer charger. So I'm going straight mobile phone on us today. So that just shows how tough the hustle and grind of podcasting is.
It's real, man. It's real.
Yeah. I got a second podcast now, doing a sports podcast. So I got, it's a lot,
sucker
man.
for punishment.
Sucker for punishment, I mean, we're making so much money on the podcast. It's unreal.
Right? Just bank, right?
Killing it right now, I'm going to retire, So, well, I mean, the bear market really has been tough, though, in a lot of ways, So I left my real job back in August to go full-time crypto. And it hasn't been well since I did that, obviously.
And you're still full-time crypto?
Well, when I say full-time crypto, like I have some other things I do, like some other passive income stuff.
Mm-hmm.
And
No, but this is your main source of income now?
It was for a little bit, but I started a new business. So I got a new business I started about 2.5 or 3 months ago. The long and short of it is it's selling autographed football helmets. That's real football, American football. And
I'm sorry, was it a CFL jab or a soccer jab?
It was a soccer jab. Yeah, it was a soccer jab. But it's okay because I can do it because I also coach 8-year-old soccer. So.
Oh, fair enough.
Yeah, fair enough. But yeah, so that business is doing really, really well for me. So it's been good, giving me the kind of time to just like build all my stuff slowly and not have to worry about, you know, necessarily making a full-time income off crypto right now because it's nearly impossible, you know?
Yeah, things are much different than they were at the end of 2017 through the beginning part of 2018. Then the well dried up.
It sure did.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, it's
Chamber, did you ever have a well to go to, Chamber?
I was gonna say I just jumped in the pool and like literally as I'm falling in the pool, the water just kept get sucked out.
Here comes Chamber, ready to cannonball right into the hottest market we've ever seen in history, and he cannonballs in. And then all you see is his bathing suit float to the top, and everybody gets out of the pool, and Chambers left holding the bags.
The bags.
Was it one of those Litecoin bathing suits, or?
I had a Litecoin bathing suit. I had all the bathing suits. It was fantastic.
That's funny, man. Hopefully, just all one piece. Hopefully, you didn't have a 2-piece. So.
Oh no, yeah, no.
Well, cool. Well, let's jump into our Twitter shout out, our Monarch Token.io Twitter shout out. This is where we shout out people on crypto Twitter that are doing good stuff that we like. And it is sponsored by Monarch Token. If you don't know, they just had a really awesome new update for the Monarch Token wallet or Monarch wallet. So make sure you guys go check that out. If you go to the Monarch Token YouTube channel, they have a freaking sick commercial that they just made. So you guys go check it out. It's got a lot of details about the new update, and you know they've got working with Celsius now, so you can get crypto loans and make interest on your crypto and stuff like that, and hold it on the Monarch decentralized wallet, which is really cool. So let's get into our shout out. Who wants to go first? How about you, Chamber? Who you got first? Who are you shouting out?
I have to shout out our podcast homie, Raptor Jesus 42. The guy's been killing it lately. I've been seeing him pop up on my timeline, left, right, and center. He's got a couple of buddies that he's just killing the memes with. So he's been putting a smile on my face every day. So shout out to RJ 42.
Yeah, so he did that little. I thought it was pretty funny with Arthur Hayes from BitMEX, and it was like had the dinosaur in the glasses he was wearing.
Yep.
Yeah, that was pretty.
Yeah, no, he's been killing it lately. So yeah, credit where credit is due.
For sure. What about you, Bunchu? Who you got?
All right, how long is this podcast? I can go. You're gonna have to give me the. So all right, real quick, just two people that support our podcast through and through. At CryptoGlass1, he's one of our patrons for our podcast, so we really appreciate him and big fan since the beginning. And also at Kyle McLean X. Kyle's another one of our big supporters. Yeah. I triggered him last week with.
You did trigger him the other day
with some Bitcoin maximalism. So I apologize, Kyle. And then I might have one more after you say yours, man.
Oh, okay.
Nice.
Okay.
Kyle's good dude. Go ahead, BitBoy. What you got?
Okay, so I'm going to shout out something I've just gotten involved with, and I'm really excited about. People have been trying to get me involved in it for a while, and I don't know why I didn't. It was really stupid, but Tron Bet. So Tron Bet, if you don't know, is a DApp on the Tron network, and the Twitter handle is at Tron Bet. It's very simple. And it's not just a way that you can make money gambling, because there is a gambling aspect to it. People that listen to the show know I like to gamble. I love gambling. But you can actually just trade your Tron for what's called Ante, is the token of the Tron Bet system, and you can make money just by holding it. So you get to split the dividends from Tron Bet on the daily. And, if you got like 10 Trons and you go try to get like a third of an Ante, you're not going to get very much money. But if you have like a decent amount of Tron and you go trade that for Ante, or if you just buy the Ante, straight up, it's got a really nice reward system. So you can actually make like I would say it's probably the best use of crypto right now in terms of passive income on it. So the numbers are like really crazy. So Tommy Mustache, also on Twitter, is heavily involved in it. And they also have what I'm really excited about and trying to get more involved with. They have Texas Hold'em Poker coming. We do not have a good decentralized Texas Hold'em Poker option right now. There's no limit poker, but if you go try to play on there, they have nobody playing. So I think this is going to be huge. I think it's the most used app right now overall. So
Really?
yeah, killing it.
Interesting.
I'm gonna go lose some Tron on some Texas Hold'em, I guess.
Yeah, I can't wait,
So,
man. I can't wait to lose my money.
Speaking of gambling, I've been addicted to Real Hero. I don't know if you guys have seen this. So shout out those guys at Real Hero. Hero spelled HXRO. Another one of those games that's just, it's a, I don't like to call it gambling. There is definitely some skill involved, but it's basically like binary options for 5-minute Bitcoin candles. And it's, I'm literally playing right now passively all day. So, they're doing some awesome stuff over there. They've been on our show too. And, we really like what they're doing too.
Yeah,
so
didn't they just,
we might have to have a game.
Didn't they just I was gonna say, didn't they just bring on like 35,000 more people or something like that?
Yeah, they just opened the floodgates, 35,000 new users. It's pretty awesome. So, BitBoy, we might have to have a gamble off soon.
Oh,
you'll be my delegate, Bunchu.
I guarantee you I can lose more than you. Guaranteed.
I don't know. I have a pretty good track record, brother.
Yeah, I can relate.
I gotta learn more about this this candle thing. That sounds exciting.
It's heroin. It's heroin.
Oh,
it's
my goodness.
good.
I see people involved in it. Yeah, I've seen people involved in it. It's something I've been looking at. But you guys know, man, like it's really hard to find time for anything these days. We're all so busy, with different stuff. And you see something and people are like, oh my gosh, you'll get so addicted to this. And I'm like, I don't have time to get addicted to something else,
All right. So this is how addicted I am. So I literally I will just blind set myself for an hour and then come back later and then blind set it all again and just play passively throughout the day.
That's DGen mode right there.
Well,
oh yeah.
There's with Tron Bet, it's got something similar, which I'm kind of scared to actually go on the gambling aspect of it, like outside of eventually on poker. But there's a way where you can set it on auto bet, and I think it's for every 300 Tron you bet, you get one anti token or something. The long and short of it, they got a way you can set it on auto where it's literally just gambling all day, and that's what the mining is. They call it mining. You're mining the ante. So, these places, these blockchain dApps are coming up with good ways for people to make passive income. I mean, of course, if you lost 1,900 times in a row, you would lose all your money. But I mean, if it's if you're doing a 50-50 bet or a low risk bet, then that's not that much of an option. So how about you, jchains? Who you got this week, bud?
Absolutely. I'm going to shout out buddy Holochain Whale. We kind of go way back, had a common like for Holochain and what they're doing. So we just trade stories and trade picks. And, he was saying something today that was...
What kind of picks?
Crypto picks. Not pictures. No.
You said we're trading picks. I didn't know if we were back on AOL Instant Messenger or what, dude.
How about some hot tips?
There you go. Yeah. I don't know if that's better.
I got that.
I don't know if that's better.
We're not getting any better. I mean, you get the point.
But not tip picks. Yeah, not tip picks. That's something different also.
No tip picks. Just the tip. No, yeah.
I think you mean tip in me.
Tippin.me, yeah.
Lightning Network, very quick. That's perfect.
Nice. Yeah.
Well, cool, man. Do you guys remember? Speaking of the Holochain whale, do you guys remember the Verge whale guy from December 2017?
I was talking about him the other day.
That guy was crazy.
Yeah. That guy was crazy. He lived with McAfee for a while.
Yeah, yeah. Well, I don't know if he lived with him or he stayed with him for a week.
Yeah,
I just remember seeing all those.
Like a couple of days or something.
Yeah, I saw all those pictures of him and McAfee, and that was when I was I've been in crypto for a while, but that was when I really started getting involved in the community, and I was like, where am I? What is this?
Well,
They're like, this guy's just hanging out with John McAfee.
I was still very green when I was introduced to Verge Whale.
Yeah.
And the McAfee thing, I got in last week of November, first week of December of 2017. And I think I saw him in January. So yeah, I was pretty fresh.
Yeah, that guy he just disappeared. His account disappeared. He's like, oh, I got hacked. There was so much sketchy stuff going on. I mean, that was right after the Verge, McAfee paid tweet or whatever. McAfee was supposed to tweet one new coin every day or something. And after 5 coins, he gave up.
Yeah, coin of the day.
Coin of the day. Yeah.
It was $1 million or 20% of your total supply or something?
Oh yeah, it was crazy. He was asking for a total supply. we heard the price recently that was like $105,000 a tweet that came out like maybe 6 months ago. But back then he was asking for like a boatload of the coin on top of the fee. So I remember seeing like he wanted a pretty heavy percentage. Did you guys watch the interview with John McAfee and his wife yesterday on CMTZ Live?
I watched a little bit of it.
No, I haven't checked it out yet. I didn't get to check it out. I wasn't watching at the time.
That was with Yuki and the Goddess?
Yeah.
That was solid. I watched about 10-15 minutes of it. I thought it was pretty good.
Yeah, I did the same. It was good. McAfee's one of those hard characters to interview. I mean, there's so many people that are. We've had him on our show twice, you know. And the thing is like you have somebody that's so controversial, and there's a lot of stuff you feel like you really want to ask them because you're really interested and want to know, but you like at the same time want to be careful not to cross lines so they hang up on your show, you know.
We definitely crossed some lines when we interviewed.
We crossed some lines. So it's funny you say that. So we were interviewing him, right? And my goal was to kind of get him to be, you know, the untethered, uninterrupted John McAfee. And when he first got on with us, he was very serious. And so I had, you know, serious questions written down. But after like 10 or 15 minutes, I was like, shoot, I'm going to be out of questions here. And right at that time, we got him to open up. And then he just went and did his glorious unfurling of McAfee. And it was fantastic. We had him talking about drugs and all that kind of stuff and what kind of whiskey would pair best with his member when he inevitably has to, you know.
Not inevitably. I'm not sold. He's not going to have to yet.
I got my fingers crossed. Yeah.
Yeah. I know
Chamber the Moon Boy.
That's right. Perma Bull.
That's it.
Man, you got to have that feeling though. I mean, it's just like so depressing. You got to just.
I don't know how anybody does it any other way. I couldn't be bearish. We were talking the other day, and after I mentioned it the other day, was when the market kind of started popping a little bit a couple of weeks ago, was my birthday. So I'm like, ooh, nice, you know, Chamber birthday pump. I was getting really excited. I'm like, I feel like that was the end, right? Like we got a little, and then it, you know, fell off, and whatever we want to call it, dead cat bounced or whatever.
Yeah.
And that really got me. I after, you know, a year and a half or however long it's been, I said, that's the one that got me. I felt a little depressed, but you know, whatever.
Well,
I'll buy $1,000 Bitcoin. It doesn't matter.
Yeah, I mean, and that's, you know, God, there's so much stuff to talk about, but there's two kind of prevailing thoughts right now for people that are in crypto. You know, you've got the ones who feel like they have enough and are ready for the market to take off, and then you've got I call it the accumulators that say like, oh, I want the price to drop more, you know. And to me, the risk versus reward of buying at this level right now, and as we've been at since November, the reward is too high, like, right? Because I was talking to somebody yesterday about this, like, okay, you want Bitcoin to drop to $2,500. Okay, is it $3,500 right now? If you bought it right now, like, yes, if it eventually dropped to $2,500, you would make a lot more money to buy at that level. But the amount of money that you would lose if we got a candle and it went back up to 6K in like 5 days, the amount you would lose is far greater than the reward of waiting to go down to 2,500. So.
And that's the thing, you know, and that's the whole patience thing plays into it there. You know, it's like, man, there are so many times where I'm seeing something kind of going up and down. It's like, oh, I'm going to take this opportunity and get a quick scalp. I'm going to sell it when it bounces down, then I'll pick it back up and I'll have a bigger stack. Yeah. Well, whenever I do that, it shoots straight up. So like, God, okay. We're not going to do it this time. And then it starts to get exciting. I'm like, okay, take some profits. No.
Yeah.
I feel like jchains is watching me trade too. I feel
like we went to the same trade school.
I think we did.
I've grown a lot. I promise I have grown a lot over this market, you know, because there have been 2 times, like, you know, people know I'm big into Tron, like Tron and BTT, and I sold the exact top of both of the pumps from BTT and from Tron over the last, you know, I guess now BTT was about a month ago and Tron was 6 weeks ago, because I recognized I started feeling that euphoria. I started feeling like, oh my gosh, this thing could pump up to 5-6 cents. And right when I started feeling that, and I did the same thing with BTT, I said, I need to drop out right now. Because, I mean, we're not going to the moon overnight. You know, the market isn't going to allow that for any coin right now. I mean, you'll have something rare like Engine that'll pump over 100%. But, you know, when you get a 20% gain on a coin in this market, you got to take that, you know.
Oh. Man, that happened. Yeah, that happened. I sold a whole bunch of BTT when it was like 9 something. Now it's like, or when it was like 8 something, and then it shot up to like 10 something. That's a patience. Just got to work on it.
Yeah. I sold it at 35.
Really?
Yeah, I sold it at 35. I tweeted. I said, I'm selling right here. This may not be the top, but I'm tweeting. And then sure enough, right after that, right after I tweeted, it started dropping. So I'm the oracle of BTT.
Bitboy over here selling tops like it's his job.
That's what I'm doing. You know,
it is his job, Chamber.
I know
it is.
Yeah, exactly.
but I'm not. I don't represent myself as a trader. Like I'm not a day trader. I don't trade a lot. You know, but I just know when I'm in something and it starts pumping. I have said though, I feel like the number one mistake, and I want to get your opinions on this. You know, the number one mistake I feel like traders make is they see another coin pumping and they say, oh, like Litecoin has been killing it. BNB has been killing it. And they say, oh, I want in on that pump. My coin is not pumping. So they jump out of their coin that's not pumping. They jump in the one that is, and they miss when their coin's turn comes around. Does that make sense?
100%.
Oh, yeah. I mean, I think that was, I remember doing that a lot when I first started. And I didn't know any better. And it's taken me a very long time to kind of make those realizations that, one, I am not a good trader. So that I've learned. Even I've tried. You know, it's funny because like even with playing hero, right? You go or betting or anything, you go on tilt. And I feel like that was my thing with trading was I would find myself just not able to be control of my emotions. So it was hard. Trading is a very self-reflective endeavor for sure.
Yeah. I think that's why most new people into crypto are terrible at it.
Oh yeah.
I think most people in general are terrible at it.
I wouldn't consider myself new, and I'm terrible.
Yeah.
No,
you need to be like you need to be slightly off mentally to be a really
you have to be. I believe it or not, I agree with that. I mean, you have to be detached. You know,
right?
Like we get like emotionally invested into the projects we're in, or whatever it is, or a news story that comes out, and you're like, your heartbeat starts beating fast, like, oh man, this is going to go up, or whatever, and you get that emotional side. And the best traders are the same as the best poker players. Like they don't show emotions over one move. You know,
I get just to kind of give you a little insight on my day to day. I get that feeling when I just buy Bitcoin. Like, I'm like, oh, I get a little heart pump. I'm like, oh yeah, Bitcoin here. You know, get some more Bitcoin. Get some of that sweet BTC before skyrockets to the moon. But I mean, yeah, if I was trading every single day, I'd lose my mind. I'd have cardiac arrest in minutes.
Yeah. So this kind of brings us to what we really want to talk about today, which it's funny, like that this was going to be the topic of the show, and then we spent the whole time talking about price. The topic of the show is what do you think during this bear market that the general crypto community is interested in? Because if they were only interested in the price, right, they would all be gone by now. There has to be something else pulling people into crypto to keep them watching. I can't believe, like, I've been making daily news videos for over a year now, or about a year. I can't believe people still come watch my videos for the latest news, because it doesn't bump the price at all, you know?
Right.
So what do you guys think it is about crypto right now that has kept those in the community in who have stayed in?
Chamber, you want to crack at that?
I was going to say, you take care of this one. I have my own dark feelings about this.
I mean, I think, one of the things that crypto is, and we were kind of talking a little bit about this before the show too, is, there's a strong community in crypto. So you kind of come for the price, you stay for the tech and the community and all of that stuff. We're obviously all very active on crypto Twitter, and the other thing for me, I think when I first got in, obviously what attracted me was the price, but I quickly fell down this rabbit hole into what crypto means and the problems that it can solve. And, it's not just one of those things where it's a solution without a problem. I think there are some really interesting and important use cases that we're seeing unfold every day that crypto can help solve. And I think the people that are still around, see that and share that vision too. I mean, you think about all this hyperinflation in Venezuela and how Bitcoin or crypto can help solve that. You just see this even from real world news and all this stuff that crypto can relate to. I think I think that's personally what keeps me around. And, I always say to Chamber, I think the best thing that we ever did was start this podcast, because it's given us an opportunity to learn from some of the most interesting people in the space. When we talk John McAfee, he's a crazy guy, but he knows kind of what he's doing, and like Brock Pierce, we talked to Charlie Shrem, like some of these guys that we would have never really had a chance to talk to before. And, it shines a light to me on just why it is that I'm here and how important some of these things that crypto solves, it really is to everything in the outside world and not just the price.
Yeah, I'd say the same thing. I mean, like Bunchu said, obviously, greed and money was what brought me in. Having, riding this crazy, uptrend at the end of 2017 was bananas. And it's just this new thing, and there was a lot of buzz around it. But obviously, that was short-lived, at least for me. And it got really, really bad. Obviously, I, put probably a significant amount of money into it very early on, and continued putting money in to try to offset it, to try and dollar cost average, all that fun stuff. But what keeps me around is probably the fact like that this resembles what I would imagine the internet, early days of the internet was. And to be a part of it, even if it's making off-color jokes on a podcast about cryptocurrency, just being a part of cryptocurrency's, early stages is interesting. And like you said, like Bunchu said, we interviewed guys like Brock and Charlie Shrem and John McAfee. When this really starts to take off and these people get, who knows what people we will have talked to or will talk to in the future, that'll be like the Jeff Bezoses of the world. Yeah. And you know what I mean? Like that to me is interesting. So imagine being on a podcast on the internet, 15, 20 years ago and interviewing Jeff Bezos of Amazon, not being, anything at the time. But now obviously you can tell your kids, hey, I talked to that guy for like an hour. He told me about bath salts.
Chambers in it for the fame.
Yeah, 100%. Yeah, I'm a fame whore. I'm sorry. We all got to make our way somehow.
What about you guys? What do you think about that?
Bunchu, I think what you said was pretty darn accurate. I mean, everything you laid out was, pretty much tailor-made to kind of how I felt about it. I came to hit that ride, kind of missed it, but then now it's like, okay, I get to talk to these people that, again, before I got into crypto, I know who John, McAfee was. Did I ever think in my wildest dreams that I'd be having conversations with him? No. It's crazy. So it's like, it's opened up some fun doors. So like, that's what I stick around for. To be able to talk to you guys and to be able to do this and talk to BitBoy every week. And he's in Atlanta, I'm in Austin, and we sit and have a crypto conversation with somebody. It's just such a cool thing to be a part of. And like you said as well, this is like, a lot of people are like, you're stupid for being in crypto. That's the time to be in. This is buying the Amazon stock when it's, a couple cents. Like, we're in this at the right time, and we're in it, and we're learning and talking to people. And I couldn't ask for a better situation. And what's really nice for me personally is that when I first started, I worked at an exchange, and that was like, I almost got fired from my day job because like it consumed so much of my time. And I'm personally really glad that part is over. That was kind of a big time suck, and it really never materialized or anything. But it was, the learning lesson of kind of learning about projects and learning how crypto and everything's really was designed. It was like a fast course into, here you go. And I love it.
Yeah.
Well, I think the other thing that's important for me, sorry, BitBoy, is like you mentioned too, it's like we're in at the right time. And that's important too, because we missed, maybe some of that literal moonshot, right? From 0 cents or 10 cents to 20,000, whatever. But we kind of have a second chance here, and in that time that we've, obviously it cost us a little financially to learn this lesson, but we've learned so much more about the space and about what it means, what crypto can mean, that I think it's even more important that we take advantage of this second chance that we're given. And I do believe that we will have a second chance at this. You know, it's changed my entire outlook on life, what I think about crypto. It's really interesting. I was called a Scientologist at the hotel bar the other day for talking to some guy about crypto. So,
You hanging out with Tom Cruise?
yeah, I think he thought I was Tom Cruise. I'm probably just as tall.
Well, you know, I think that's a really good point. I do believe that after the next run that we go on, it will be too late for people. And, you know, that's a lot of what, you know, we talk about on here is, you know, you got to seize the opportunity while it's here. Because, like, let's say the market goes up to, you know, I'm going to throw a crazy number out that, you know, I've heard some people say 333K, right? Let's say Bitcoin goes up there. Now, they're talking about that would be 2021, right? Well, if it goes up to 333K, even if it goes to 1 million from there, eventually, like, that's 3x. You know what I mean? So I think right now is the time to be doing things like building podcasts, building your brand, learning. And when you look at the difference between the community right now from where it was, let's say 3-4 years ago, like there was a community aspect of crypto. There was Reddit was, you know, had a lot of crypto stuff going on, but the information and education about cryptocurrency, it really wasn't out there. It wasn't, it was much harder to learn. Like imagine going to a library before they had internet and trying to learn by reading books, which is what people had to do. Like all the information was not contained. There was a limited amount that you could find. Now I feel like over the last, you know, 18 months, the amount of information and education that's been out there on crypto is so prevalent that now you can come into the space and pretty quickly learn about it and learn what it is and learn about the movement and things like that. And, you know, just to kind of comment on what you were talking about, you know, in regards to having guests on the show, I've thought that 100 times. Like even the people in crypto Twitter that we talk to, you know, like I'll take Brecky, for instance. Like Brecky's a good friend of mine. Like we started our accounts pretty much the exact same time. You know, we go way back in terms of our crypto accounts. And I mean, that guy, the kind of art stuff that he makes, like that guy's going to be famous one day, you know, like especially in the crypto community. And, you know, those are just people we're hanging out with now. So it's not even just the celebrities, the crypto celebrities, which are, you know, akin to people have said celebrities at a Beating Baby conference, you know. Nice. but you know, like
Princess Diana one, though.
Right.
That Princess Diana Beanie Baby, though.
Yeah, that's the
Tabasco
one.
the Bull. I remember that one. But so it's not just like the celebrities like your John McAfee's and your Brock Pierce's bull. It's really going to be cool is to see the people that aren't anything right now that years down the road are going to be, you know, have a really big presence. And, you know, I was talking about, I just started a sports podcast, Immaculate Perceptions. You guys go check that out. But could you imagine starting a podcast, a sports podcast, and like, let's say within 2 months getting Tom Brady to come on your show? No,
yeah,
no,
crazy.
That would never happen, right?
Never happen.
But in crypto, you can start a podcast and you can get the biggest people in crypto to come on your podcast. Like we've got some big guests coming up too. We've had big guests. You guys have had big guests. Like it's really cool to see that. And we have such a golden opportunity to do that right now. Whereas in 5 years, that's not going to be the case. These people are going to be untouchable like Jeff Bezos.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, and I think something else that's important from, you know, the podcasting perspective that we do is, you know, we're not the foremost technical experts, right? And we're not, you know, we don't paint ourselves that way. And I think one of the things that we take away from our show is, you know, okay, what are all the things that we sucked at or still suck at, and how can we help our listeners, you know, and bring them good information, solid content that, you know, maybe I wouldn't say we're beginners podcast, but we are a very relatable. I mean, our title alone says enough. So, you know, I think it's important to, you know, be able to give back almost to the crypto community, because it is hard to learn this stuff. And so if you can give people some kind of way to, you know, filter it all down a little bit and help them out, I think that's a really important thing too.
Yeah, absolutely. Hands off to the people that are doing education as well, you know.
I couldn't do education. That's some serious stuff. Those educational podcasts on crypto are so good and so thorough. Even the YouTube ones too, obviously. It's amazing what they're doing, and you know, 90% of the time it's free, which is fantastic. But yeah, some of these guys are just insanely good at what they do. Like I said, I just tell off-color jokes most of the time, so I can do that. by myself.
We actually had Crypto Stash. You guys know Crypto Stash?
Oh yeah,
yeah. So we had him on.
Hell of a mustache. Hell of a mustache.
It's incredible.
It's beautiful.
So beautiful. We allowed him on, even though he does have a soul patch though, so we let that slide.
That's all right. Some people can't grow
But-
masculine beards.
But Crypto Stash is honestly like one of the smartest dudes in crypto. That guy, he does education videos, and I can't do stuff on his level in terms of trying to educate people about the more technical aspects of blockchain. But we had this conversation with him before. Like, it's frustrating in this kind of market when you can offer the education to people, but like I can make a video called XRP to the moon and get a ton more clicks than he gets.
Sure can.
I mean, if I put XRP or TRX in my freaking video, like I know I'm going to get views and clicks on it. And, it just so happens I'm very interested in Tron. It just so happens that XRP is a hot topic to talk about a lot. But, that is a frustrating thing about education is there are so many people out there that are so good at it that, because they started really pushing their channel after the interest waned, it's been much harder for those guys to build channels. But that's invaluable stuff that they do. Like you said, here's the thing. I can talk crypto. I've been in crypto since 2012. I can talk about, Bit Instant and, I got Mt. Gox money coming back. Like I can talk about some of the older stuff, which is kind of cool. But, we're just entertainment. Like that's what we do. We're a fun podcast. We like to talk crypto. We like to have fun people on and have conversations. I mean, like if we were talking about Joe Rogan before we came on air, like what's Joe Rogan's podcast about? Nothing.
I don't know what it was about. That's amazing.
Right. It's just
greatness.
Yeah. He gets people on and he loosens them up and has fun conversations. And that's really like, that's a very needed thing in crypto as well, to have that kind of outlet because people don't always want to watch educational videos. They don't always want to watch news videos, but they kind of want to be involved in the crypto community. So that's why like we call our podcast a crypto community podcast, basically.
Yeah, that's probably a pretty good description of ours too.
half of our content is not crypto. We did a 90s video game draft on our episode yesterday.
I saw that, and
That's awesome.
I may have been coerced to vote for someone via direct message, and I cannot reveal who it is.
That was Cynthia.
I cannot reveal who it is, but I was coerced. But that person's list was not the best. Here's my three. Can I get my three video games? My all-time three right here. Madden 2004. That's the Mike Vick cover.
No.
It's got to be 90s. It's got to be 90s.
These were 90s specific.
So 99 specific. Or younger.
God.
Or older.
Okay. All right. Let me go 98 Madden. I think that's one with Marshall Faulk on the cover, maybe.
Right.
Or
yep.
I think so. But anyways.
I remember that one. Yep.
I'm going to go Mortal Kombat 3 and Ocarina of Time.
Ocarina of Time. That's a good one. I should have went Ocarina of Time instead of Link to the Past.
I know. I saw that. I thought you would have the best one if you just would have had other than a Game Boy. So I told the person that messaged me, I said, I could make this list and put Ocarina of Time and the other two games wouldn't matter and I would win.
That's crazy.
I messed up.
I want to know who's trying to coerce you. I want to know
guys. I'm on lock and key over here.
Wow, I'll figure it out.
My football game.
I'm gonna guess it was Danny.
Joe Montana, the sports talk football.
Joe Montana 94. I used to kill. I was Randall Cunningham. I'd freaking run out.
Sega guy.
Yeah, I'd run out to left.
Sega's underrated.
Underrated.
I was a big Sega guy too.
I was too. Yeah. Gosh.
Altered Beast. Do you remember that game?
Yeah. That's
so good.
Early Sega. Early Sega.
So good. No, we do love to talk about other things. So depending on the time of the seasons, we'll talk about Christmas movies, Halloween movies. We'll do some sort of draft, some sort of fun thing. So we do try to keep it like my mom listens to every single one of our shows, and she loves it. But yeah, she has no idea what's happening with crypto. She likes she'll argue with me about my choices for Christmas movies or Christmas best Christmas food or stuff like that. So it's pretty fun. We have a good time.
I'm gonna have to tone it back now that I know your mom listens.
Nah, she's all right. She raised me, right? I mean, somebody has to be responsible for this.
Yeah, right.
That's really funny. I know my mom listens to our shows too. She met BitBoy when I met him in Chicago at the Voices of Blockchain conference.
Yeah, everybody remembers their first time meeting BitBoy. I can't say my name right. Everybody remembers, right? Everybody remembers the first time they met me. It's a really magical moment for them. And I honestly
time slows down.
Yeah, I usually don't remember, but for them it's like a really big deal.
Speaking like a true celebrity Bitcoin or Bitcoin personality.
His beanie, he's got his
That's
stack
right.
of Beanie Babies behind him.
I do actually. That's why I got the green screen on, because you can't see my Beanie Babies. But it's funny, like on my football helmet business, it's on Facebook. I've got a fake Facebook account. I do Facebook Live and stuff, and I'm always telling the people there, I'm like, guys, you should come check me out. I got a YouTube channel too. I'm a famous cryptocurrency YouTuber. And I just really, I'm like, I'm a YouTube celebrity, guys. Like, I'm joking, you know. Like, obviously, I'm not. I got 7,500 subscribers. I mean, it's not that much, you know. But you know, it's fun to play around with, you know. I mean, just like you guys were talking about earlier, having good celebrities on your guest.
We had Mark Weinstein on the show from the Fire documentary.
Yeah.
And that's when the normies came out.
Yeah.
Like, I had my dad call me. He's like, "What's this? Like, I watched this Fire documentary, and one of your sisters told me, you know, this guy's gonna be on your show." I said, "Yeah, Dad, I told you I'm a big deal in crypto. You don't know this about me. I'm a huge celebrity."
Huge celebrity. All 200 people in crypto know about you.
Absolutely.
I mean, that's what's so crazy though, is like the downsizing of the crypto community. I mean, you got people out there who they might have 100,000, you know, followers on Twitter, but out of that 100,000, like, there's probably only about 20,000 of those that are active, you know? And so when you look at somebody that's got, you know, 5, 10,000, like, they might have as many active followers if they built it in the bear market as some of those larger accounts, because people just, they're gone. I mean, we can all name probably just, you know, other influencers or, you know, people on, you know, crypto influencers on Twitter that we knew of that have totally disappeared, you know?
Oh, yeah.
You think of those, like the type of people who say have like 50,000+ followers, but then their tweets only get like 20 or 30 likes. I mean, those.
Oh my goodness! I was noticing one just today. Guy has like almost 1 million followers. I was like, you know, put out a tweet 4 hours ago, had 3 likes on it. I'm like, what is this?
Yeah. So
I mean, you got to hit more a percentile more than that.
That's crazy.
Well, they're fake. They're fake. I mean, I'm not going to call them out specifically, but I mean,
fake.
There's a guy who's got freaking 80-something thousand followers on CT, and he bought that account. He bought the account. It was a totally different niche, and that's 83,000 followers. He might get freaking, you know, 10 likes on something, you know.
Right.
And that's what,
a bunch of people in the woodworking world.
Yeah, something like that. You know, I mean, people that want to get.
Oh, got me. Sorry.
People that want to like grow big accounts on Twitter and stuff like that, like, they really think there's a shortcut. And I guarantee you, if you're looking for a shortcut to build an account or do something with, like, it's gonna end up biting you, because I
want to buy Bunchu followers just so I can then go on Twitter and say he's got purchased followers.
Dude, that's a thing. That is a thing, man.
That would
you
be
know?
hilarious. That would be hilarious.
Yeah, but it's a good defense if you did buy all your followers. But like, somebody was trying to, you know, mess with me.
Yeah, somebody's messing with me.
Yeah, golly.
That's the new I got hacked. Yeah. Somebody bought me followers.
Yeah, somebody bought my followers. I got 9,000 Turkish followers.
Chamber would never actually do that because it's very important to him personally that he
I'm
has
absolutely
more followers than me.
first. 100%. I'm buying my followers first.
Well, I just buy all mine with giveaways. I give away stuff, and that's how I get a lot of followers.
That's okay. I actually physically looked up buying. I did want to buy some for Bunchu, so I actually looked up how to buy it. It seems to be fairly easy.
Yeah. Well, what a lot of people are doing, and when I very first started my account, I tried this. It's called Twins, TWIENDS, like friends, but with a TW at the beginning.
Okay.
And so basically, what it is like a link tree. So you go on there, and it's like a billboard service kind of for your account. It'll show your account, and then people follow you on the service, and then you're supposed to go back and follow them. It's like kind of a third-party way to do follow one follow, right? So I started my account. I got up to like, 500, 600, 700, users doing it that way, which, you know what, if you start an account and you want to start fresh, it is a good way to get like a few. But I started looking on there, and it was the same thing you just said. Like, I saw there was a guy on there that had 1 million followers, and he had 3 likes on a tweet. And I was holy crap, this is not going to work. This is terrible. So I stopped using it, and I unfollowed all the people I'd follow, and then basically all those people unfollowed me back. So like all those people are gone from my account now, but that's a way that, people can kind of make it seem like they got a lot of followers. But why do people want a lot of followers? Like, it's either just for pure clout, they want
100%.
clout, or it's because they want to be able to like, do sponsored tweets and stuff like that. But any business is going to look and see like, oh, you got, there's a girl I follow. It's got 24,000 followers. She's always doing sponsored content and she never gets a single like on any of it. I'm like, who would pay for this?
Silly people.
people with too much money.
That's right.
It's crazy.
I'll take some of it.
I would only do sponsored tweets for products I use, like double stuffed Oreos. Things like,
I'm trying to get that friggin' A&W
like
Diet
Popeye's chicken
root beer.
or something.
Right. Exactly.
Sponsored by
Like,
A&W. Yeah, I don't do sponsored tweets and stuff like. I can't say like, look, if during the bull market, if somebody says, "Hey, I'll give you $20,000 for a tweet," that I like wouldn't consider it, But right now, like, I don't
sign me up. Yes, Satan.
Yeah.
Not a problem. Right here, Satan.
You need me to take my shirt off?
Yeah, I'll do some messed up stuff for $20,000.
I'll do sponsored stuff on my Instagram, but on Twitter, I just like to protect it. Like, it's kind of like my mouthpiece for like, for my brand and stuff. So, you just got to kind of like figure out what's important to you. And, some people, and that is not downing on people that do sponsored tweets at all. That wasn't the purpose of my statement. It's just something that I personally don't do. But like I said,
think that's the right take, by the way.
Yeah. I'm not crushing people for doing sponsored tweets. Like, I'm all for it. There's some stuff that's a little sketchy out there that people get paid to tweet about and stuff. But my thing is, if you're transparent about it, that's all that really matters. You can't be like, oh, this coin's awesome and they paid you, and you not saying that's influencing what you're saying.
I would tell people how much I got paid. I'm like, this is what they paid me to sponsor them.
Well, cool. Well, we really got down the rabbit hole on this one. I don't even know what we were talking about at the end. We're talking about we're giving Twitter advice, but
I love it.
Yeah, it was great.
Stream of consciousness.
Not financial advice. Twitter advice.
Not financial advice. Twitter advice. I am a Twitter connoisseur. I will help you. But so jchains, any final thoughts on today's show?
No, man. It was Bunchu. It was great chatting with you guys.
Just Bunchu? You kidding me right now?
Chamber.
Yeah.
I was trying to think of something good to say. Well, Chamber, because you really you played a good role in the show. So I apologize. It was great. It was great talking to both of you.
Thank you. Bunchu's always getting my thunder.
Wow, and he doesn't even have a picture up.
That's true. That's true. I'll take it all back. Chamber, you're the dog.
So what about you guys, Chamber, Butcher? Any final thoughts on kind of anything we talked about?
I had a great time.
Sure.
I like hanging out with you guys. I like doing these types of things. I like talking about crypto and other things. But no, we obviously really appreciate you having us on. It was a blast. I think I can speak for Bunch. I think he had a good time too. Right, Bunch?
I think the whole neighborhood knows I had a good time.
Oh wow.
I streaked down through the quad, through the gymnasium, but yeah, we love doing this kind of stuff. So, anytime maybe we can host you guys on our home field advantage next time. We'll play some Rekt podcast games. But again, thank you so much for having us on. I think these kind of things that are really important to do, from that community building standpoint too, because we were kind of talking before the show too on, there's a lot of salt a lot of the time. So, when we can kind of get along and all do that, that's good stuff. So I appreciate it.
Yeah. We're all just cool, We're just cool with each other.
We are all just cool. Correct.
Cool, So
okay. We'll see you next time. I think we'll probably be doing another one of our Sunday news episodes coming up soon, right, BitBoy? I think it's time to do one of those. So expect one of those coming out pretty soon, and maybe some new contest. I don't know. We'll figure that out and we'll let you know, but we'll see you next time.
Yeah, we'll see you guys.
Wait, I got one more thing here. So
time out, pause. Come on back, everybody.
So this just crossed my mind since you mentioned you got a sports podcast going. So it sounds like you guys are sports fans. I am a sports fan. Chambers Canadian. But we got March Madness coming up.
Yeah.
We got March Madness coming up. We should do a Rekt podcast versus Beards and Bitcoin bracket pool or something.
For Bitcoin.
You guys may not know this, but jchains actually orders all the buses around that ship the basketball teams for March Madness.
What?
Insider. This is a perfect.
That's off.
Insider. We got that inside.
that insight.
That-
Yeah, we've been doing Division 3 since last week. Division 2's next week, and then the big show happens in a couple of weeks. Yeah,
That's fantastic.
pretty cool.
Hey, I need you to call in the Rekt bus driver. You know, for, one of the number 1 seeds, knock them out first round. Make sure they don't get to the game. You know what I mean? Yeah, let's do that. I'm down with that. Yeah.
All right. Cool.
Awesome.
We'll be in touch. We'll get your information to exchange these files, and we'll get that going.
All right, guys.
Perfect.
It's on, fellas.
All right, we'll talk to you guys later.
All right.
Thanks, guys.
Well, that's it for this week. Thanks for listening to Beards and Bitcoins. If you like what you heard, show these guys some love and rate review on SoundCloud or iTunes. Also, remember you can always find the guys on social media. The show Twitter page is @BeardsBitcoins. You'll find direct links to BitBoy and jchains from there. Make sure you check for updates, announcements, and contests. Good luck to all who enter. See you next time.